Yes, we have come to the beginning of a new section. Yeah, CSS right now. So firstly, what is CSS? CSS, as I've said earlier, is a cascading style sheet for styling, majorly for styling. So it's used for styling styling. It's used for styling and designing web pages. Yes, to style, the color, the fonts, and everything. Okay, page layout. Page layout means actually the way the page is structured, the way you arrange the elements on the web page. Okay, the positioning also. Okay, customizing user interface. That is, the way you customize the interface, the way you make the website look, how beautiful it is, how structured it is. Okay, your users would actually love it, which actually lead towards their user experience. Okay, so user interface, the way it actually looks perfectly well, how easy it is. So that will go a long way to help the website users. Also, adding animation. Yes, we're going to do that in this course. Animation, because the hovering effects, the changing of colors automatically when you hover your mouse, when you move your mouse on something like the button. Okay, transition like rotation, transformation, things like that. And also responsive web design. Yes, if you have it on a mobile phone, the width and the height, a lot of things have to change. Okay, CSS helps us to achieve that, and we're going to learn that in this course. Okay, so that's the introduction to CSS. I will see in the next lecture video where we're talking about the types of CSS. So in this lecture video, I'll be teaching you types of CSS, but I would be practicalizing. That is, I will show you the practical aspects of the essential things. Now we have three types of CSS. We have inline CSS, internal or embedded CSS, and also external CSS. Now, the first one, inline CSS, is not advisable. It's more preferable. You shouldn't do that. It's not recommendable. Not the best type of CSS. Not the best way to actually write your CSS codes. Okay. And the second one, it's okay, but not the recommended. The third one, which is the external CSS, is the best and the recommended one. Okay, because of when you have large numbers of codes to write, long rows and things like that, you need to code a lot of things, write a lot of styles, bring in a lot of styles and the likes. So it is the best option, external CSS. So now inline CSS is applied directly to an HTML element using the style attributes. Number one, do not forget that the HTML elements is is when we have the opening tag, the contents in between, and the closing tag. Okay, now let's go to Visual Studio Code. As usual, like if you've forgotten how we got this, just press on press shift and press 1. Press shift, hold on shift and press 1. But you're not pressing 1 itself, you are pressing exclamation, then press enter, and it gives you. So, sorry. Just come over here. Fine, good. Then apart from that, we need to create a new file called let's say css.css. Nice. .css. Enter. You can see it has changed here. This icon here is an hashtag or something like that. So we have HTML, we have CSS. So now when we say inline CSS, as I've said, inline CSS is applied directly to an HTML element. What do we mean? Now come down here. Let's just say, let's give it a P. Let's give it a paragraph. Fine. Let's say lorem. Let's give it 10. Nice one. Okay. And as usual, let us open and see what we have in our in our live server. You can see perfect. Let me minimize this. As usual, perfect. Okay. You can see perfect. So let me close this. Okay. Good. Nice one. Let me just bring this down to be seeing it here. Yeah. Good. Nice one. Okay, perfect. Now we have this. Okay, so I said inline CSS, that is when you apply CSS directly to an HTML element. So how is it done? It's just like we're actually putting an attribute. Instead of putting it at the end, you always put it at the beginning. Okay, so just come over here, leave a space, then style equals to, what do we say? Color, then give a colon, sorry, colon, then say red, red. Fine. Then what do we do now? Control S, save. Then what happens? We have a red color here. You can see we're actually getting gradually towards to styling. We're changing colors already. We can change the fonts also. Okay. So you can see this is what we call inline CSS. That is, whatever style we are giving, it's going to be what's inside the first tag. Inside the first tag. Just like we give attributes to things. Okay. And I said style equals to, you have to notice that the internal CSS and the external CSS is written in different ways. It is not the same thing as what the inline CSS. Okay? It's not the same thing as the inline CSS. So now, this is the way this is written. Just understand that this is how it is written, but this is not the best way. This is not the best way because you might have lots of HTML elements you need to write. So you need to use the external CSS. Okay? Okay, now this is inline CSS. Now let's apply what? Let's apply internal CSS. Now to apply internal CSS is what is also called an embedded CSS. Why is it like that? It is written inside a style tag. Okay, within the edge section of an HTML element. So now let's practicalize it. It is written inside a style tag. Within what? Within the edge section. So let's see. So now, what is the edge section? This is it. Fine. Okay. Now we have this. You don't need to touch these ones. Just come down here. And it says style. That is the meaning of what it said. Style. Then press what? Then press enter. Okay. Then we see what? P. Okay. You can leave a space and use the what? A coily braces. Okay. Use coily braces. Then what? Then say color colon equals to what? Let's say blue this time. Blue. Perfect. Then what do you use to do? Then Control S. You can see blue. The first one was what? Red. This one blue. We can add more. We can add more styles to it. But I just want you to know that this is what we call what? This is what we call an internal. The first one was what? Inline, which was inside here itself. Inside the P tag itself. Okay. But the second one, which is called internal, is what? Is inside a opening and a closing style tag. Okay. That is inside the what? The head tag. This head tag. It is inside this head tag. It cannot be in the body tag. Okay. So it is here. It is written here. That is what? That is the internal. So most of the time you would actually have it being just like this. Okay. You'd actually, it would be like this. It would be structured like this. Okay. Something like this to make it well organized. But you can actually have it the way I did it the last time. I have it like that's not a problem. Okay. So this is what? Internal. The first one was what? Inline. This is what? Internal. So the last one, which is the most preferable, which is the best and recommended one, is what? External CSS. So let me delete this away. Perfect. Okay. External what? External CSS. Let me save and let this blue go away. So how do we do the external CSS? Let me increase, maximize this. Fine. Okay. Let me bring this out. How do we do that? Just come over here. Let's read and let's see. External CSS is stored in a separate .css file. In a separate file. So we have html.html. We're going to create css.css file right now. So that we can have a whole space for us to work, for us to design. So they said external CSS is stored in a separate .css file and linked to the HTML file using a link tab. Okay, so let's practicalize and let's see. We're going to open a what? A new file called what? CSS or whatever name you want to call it .css. Okay, just press enter. Okay, this is HTML. This is what? This is CSS. Very, very perfect. Okay, so now what do we do? How do we do it? Now we will say, we come over here. Okay, what exactly do you want to what? Do you want to style? You want to style this P tag, right? Then you come over here. Just put what? Just put P. Then use what? The way you did it when you were inside the head tag, when we did it inside the style, just use your coily braces again. Okay, but this time around, I can just say color. Okay, colon, then say aqua, for example. Then I will run it. Okay, but I don't want to use it like this. I want to use it the main way we professionals use it. So you know, when I said P, okay, then I use the coily braces. Then you press what? Enter. So when you press on enter, what happens? Then you can write your what? You can write your code. Then say color what? Aqua. Perfect. So now what happens? Before I save, let me bring this up. Let's see. Is the color going to change? We have this here, right? Let me minimize. And let's say Ctrl S, save. But it's not showing. The first one we did red, yes, inline CSS. The second one, internal CSS blue. And now aqua, it's not showing what is happening. Yes. Don't forget I said that that is external CSS is stored in a separate .css file. Yes, we've created a separate CSS file. So what is wrong? This is what is wrong. And linked to what? To the HTML file using a link tag. We have not linked this CSS file to the HTML file. They have to be linked together. So how do we? So I said that it will be linked using a link tag. You can see it. Very, very perfect. So let's come over here to HTML. Okay, come to add. You can actually bring it down here. Or we actually put it somewhere here. I want the title to be at the end. So we can just say link. Okay. Link. Perfect. You can see link does not have a content and does not have a closing tag. You would actually link it inside there. Okay. So how do we link it? You would actually link it in the opening tag. So we give a space and say real. Actually, this actually is showing what? It's showing the relationship between our links. Okay. It's telling us that this is what? This is a style sheet. Yes, this is a style sheet. That is showing the relationship. You're like referring to something. Oh, what is the relationship? It is a style sheet. So where exactly is the what? What exactly is the path? Is the link itself? Is what? href. Okay? Equals to. Just like we use it for what? For the anchor tag. Okay, the A tag. When we click on a link, it takes us somewhere. Where does this one take us? To css.css. Sorry. .css. Do not make a mistake here. You give it the name of what? Of your file. You can actually right click here and say rename. Okay. Or you say, just say copy. Okay. When you copy, that is you copy the name. Okay. Then you double click here. Then put the name there. Just as an example, just like this. And V. Okay. Very, very perfect. Just make sure the name is what? The name is correct. The name of the what? The link name, the path name is correct. css.css. Make sure it is correct. If you're using capital letter somewhere, if there is capital letter here, you have to put the capital letter there. It's very, very important. So this is the link. Okay. Relationship. It is a style sheet to what? To the HTML. Then what is the link? What is the path itself? Where can we find it? What is the name of the what? Of the file? css.css. So now what do we do? So now let's close this. Let's minimize. Then, oh, already done. Already what? Already done. You can see very, very perfect. I also like just Ctrl S here, but it has actually, because probably I made a mistake. I pressed on a Ctrl S before I could actually remember, but you know, it's actually part of me already. I'm used to the Ctrl S. So you can see now we have the HTML file and we have the CSS file. So whatever you create in HTML, whenever you style it here, don't have any problem. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let me use the what? The head tag. Let me say h3. Okay, then I say hello world. Okay, then I say Ctrl S, save. You can see up black, right? Then we come over here. This h3, right? So whatever the tag name you have, this is the tag name h3 itself. Okay, that is the name. Whatever name you have here, just come down here. Give it a space h3. Okay, then you can actually have a space, then use the curly braces, then enter, then say color. Okay, let me use capital letter also. Color. What color should we give? Let's say blue violet, as I've seen it there. Then press enter. Oh, sorry, press enter if you feel like. You don't need to. Just leave it. Then press Ctrl S, save. You can see very, very perfect. We have to put a semicolon at the end. So that's my mistake. Sorry. There should be a semicolon at the end there. But don't worry, when we get to the next video, which is after this, we would actually understand what the CSS syntax is exactly. So we have this now. We now understand what the types of CSS we have. So I'll see you in the next lecture video. In this lecture video, I'll be teaching you CSS syntax. Yes, what is syntax? Syntax actually is the rules. Yeah, the way you have to write something. If you write it the wrong way, it is not going to execute. A lot Python, CSS, HTML, whatever, any program you feel like. They have their syntax, they have their rules, how it is being written. Even if the programs are actually almost identical, there are ways you have to write them. If you write the one you need to write for A, you're writing for B, it's minor workout. Yeah. So the first one is what we have selector. The second one property. The third one value. Let's take a look here. You can see selector, property, value, selector, property, value. Now let me go back here. Let me go back to my CSS. Let's increase. This was the last one we used. You can see. Let me go back. Okay. For this one also. Perfect. Very, very perfect. Now we have this. This is exactly what we're talking about. Now look here. We said selector identifies the HTML elements to style. Okay. Oh, I want to style something. Okay. What exactly do you want to style? Oh, I want to style P. I want to style H3. I want to style P. Okay. That is an HTML element. So they said selector identifies the HTML elements to style. So when you come over here to CSS, okay, oh, I want to style H3. I want to style P. So when you come over here, you do what? Just like this. P. Oh, it's P I want to style. Oh, it is H3 I want to style. So automatically, let's say the HTML element is what? Is the selector. That is the period. The selector here is the HTML elements. Okay, just like we have here. You can see P. It selects. Oh, this is what I want to do. Selector. Okay. So apart from that, we have what? We have property. Okay. Then, and when you have a property, it has value, right? Yeah, you know, when you have a car, the car has a value for you. When you have a house, it has a value for you. That's just the way you have to understand it. When you have a laptop, right now, your laptop has a value for you. Your phone has a value for you. It is valuable. It gives you things like you get money or things from it. It is very, very important. It's priceless, precious to you. Okay. So now when you have a property, you have a value. When you have a property, the property has a value. So this place is very, very simple. Okay, so now when you have the selector already, you say, oh, I've selected P. Okay, now let me give it a what? Let me give it a property, color. Then you come over here and say, I'm not giving it anything. No, your property needs what? It has to have a value, and the value is what? Aqua. So now let's come down here and say, okay, this is the property. Let me give it what? Let me give it what? A value. It's very, very simple. Now, examples of selectors can be P, paragraph tag, H1 tag, class name, ID name. Class name and ID name, okay? I'm going to teach you this in the subsequent video, in the next section where we have CSS selectors part 1. Okay. So for now, we need to understand that class name and ID name are also selectors. We can actually put it there. Oh, I need this class name, this ID name. Then what you give it is what? Property and values. Then we say property, we have color, font size, background color. I'm going to demonstrate that now. Okay. So after we have the value, whatever value you want to give it. Okay. Fine. Let's see. Now let's come to CSS and say, okay, I want to give a background color. That is, you can see that H3 and H and P. Let me come over here. They are both inside another tag. Inside what tag? Inside the body tag. You can remember that the body tag actually contains anything that will show where in the web page. So now this body tag itself, I want to give it a what? I want to give it a style. So how do we do that? Come over here. Down. Then say what? Oh, then say body. Sorry, write it the way it is being written. Body. Enter. Then say what? Color background. Background. If you don't want to finish writing it, just use your mouse and press this. You don't have any problem. Color background. Let's say the color background is what? Is, let's say, gray. Let's say gray. You can see this is it. Gray. Perfect. Then what do you do? Control S, save. Then what happens? Perfect. You can see? Very, very perfect. Let's see another one. Let's see. We have background color, font size. Okay? Font size. Okay? So just come over here. So just say, we want to add a font size, right? So where do you want to add the font size? Is it on the body itself, or for the font, the Hello World font, or this font? Let's see. It's very, very simple. Okay, so now let's change the color. Let me say I want to change this to white. I think it's more preferable it's white. Perfect. Then Control S, save. Nice one. Now I want to change what? I want to change the font of what? Of H itself. So what do? So, don't forget, you have to put your what? You have to put your semicolon. So, because when you have your property here, to introduce your value, you need to what? You need to give it a what? A colon. So when you are through with the what? With this attribute, we call the property and the value together as an attribute. When you are through with the attribute, you close the attribute with the what? With the semicolon, because you might want to add another attribute. So now to add another attribute, then press down. Then say what? Fonts. What do you say? Font size. You can see font, font family, font size, font weight, font style, whatever you want to say, whatever. So just say font size. Then what? Colon. Then what font size do you want to use? Let's just say, 200, Ctrl S. You can see very big. Then 60, Ctrl S. You can see very, very perfect. So for the P also, let's say fonts. Let's say font weight. Let's say bold. Okay, Ctrl S. You can see bold. It's now very bold. So again, so just bring your cursor here. So you can just come down here. Let's say font size colon. Let's say 30 pixel. The px means what? Pixel. We're gonna learn about the units, okay? But for now, use pixel, px, okay? We're still going to use percentage, okay? So Ctrl S, save. You can see very, very perfect. So that is it for the word CSS syntax, the selector, properties, and values. So I'll see you in the next lecture video. So in this lecture video, we're teaching you what? The CSS comments. You know, when we add our comments in HTML, okay? So just like this, your less than, let me say the left angle, okay, fine. Then your exclamation mark, okay. Then 2 hyphens, you can see. Then you put what? Then you put your what? Comments. And say this, okay, sorry. Say this is an, header tag. It's a comment, right? But for CSS, it's different. How do you do it? So first, now that we've understood how to actually arrange our values and our attributes, which is the property and value, let me just come down here, okay, indent this, make it look clean. You can see very, very perfect. So now to have a comment, actually we can just bring about a comment here, but you won't use what? You won't use the, you know, this and the exclamation and dash. You won't use them. You can see it's not working here. It's not even working. It's not completing the code for me because we're in CSS. So what do we use? We actually use what? A forward slash. Sorry. We actually use what? A forward slash. Then what? An asterisk. You can see it. Everything goes. It comments everything out. So what do? We have to complete it. Okay. And say this is a paragraph tag. Then what do? Asterisk. Then what? Close. Then what? Close. Perfect. So we need to close this one ourselves. Okay, we need to close this ourselves. Okay, so that is how CSS comments is. You can actually just come here again also and say, asterisk. Okay, this is an header tag, or let me say header style. Okay, nice one. You can see very, very perfect. So that's it actually for the comments. So I'll see you in the next